Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This is second video of my Google Sheet tutorials. This video will help you to understand how can you import your data in Google Sheets and analyze your data. Use of all formula and functions, basic to advanced level. So let's start our second program about Google Sheet tutorial. So before we can analyze data, we have to actually import some data to our sheet. Data comes in a variety of different file formats, and there are various ways to import data to your spreadsheet. I'm going to import data that I have already saved to my computer. Go to File, Import, click on Select a file from your device, and here we get options on how to import the file and its location. You can see that we could create a new spreadsheet, insert new sheets, or replace spreadsheets. In our case, we want to choose insert new sheets to add data set to our spreadsheet here, and go ahead and hit import data. When you are ready to bring in the data, okay, so that's an import. We can copy paste data from other spreadsheet. For that, we'll select our data and copy it to our clipboard. Open, edit, copy, and let's go back to our spreadsheet. Open up, right click, then paste. You have data imported into your sheet and you are ready to analyze it. Now we are going to walk through some of the most popular data analysis features and functions of sheets. One of the things to do in sheets is sort data. It's really help to see quite quickly what some top line trends might be. Let's sort our movies by release date. If we want to see the earliest movie first, sort A to Z. If we want to see the most recent movie releases, sort Z to A. You could also select and sort a specific range if you wanted to get more granular. Next, using filters and filter views in your spreadsheet. These are different filtering mechanisms provided in sheets. They are really powerful under different circumstances. Let's go over basic filters. They are really useful when you are working collaboratively with a peer in a spreadsheet at the same time. When you apply a basic filter that applies to every viewers of the spreadsheet, and when you sort that view purchased. The basic difference in filter and sort is filter only affected your views, but the peer will not affected in the work. This is really helpful when you are working with your colleagues and you don't want to disturb his view. Don't have editing permission on someone else's sheet, but you want to able to sort the data. You can also save these filter views, name them, and share them with your colleagues. That's all filters and filter views are, but let's dive into a bit deeper how to filter things with and without conditional formatting. So filters are useful if you want everyone viewing your spreadsheet to see a specific filter when they open it. We can also create filters that exclude some data on our sheets while highlight other information. Filters are seen by everyone viewing your spreadsheet. So let's make a filter that shows us only movies from 2016. Duplicate the movie datasheet. Let's qualify our first condition here. We only want to see movies from year 2016. Click up here on data. We will select create a filter. Select the columns, row, arrows here. We'll select filter by values. Select clear. We just want to see movies released in 2016 and hit OK. Now let's qualify our second condition, the action genre from the year 2014. So select the genre column arrow, select the genre we want, hit OK. Filter views especially helpful when multiple views or you want other to be able to view the data differently. Sometimes when you add data to a sheet, it may not be in the format that you need. Now you can easily keep your sheet standardized by data cleanup option. You can trim white space, remove duplicate, select column or data sheet, then select data and check data cleanup, hit white space to remove extra white space, and same way you can remove duplicate data also, and you can check other options for the cleanup. One way to save time in sheets is to create a data validation rule. Let's say you were creating a survey and you only wanted the cell to contain a yes or a no answer. We could create a drop-down menu that offered only those choices. Then you wouldn't have to type out yes or no each time. You would simply click an option. Data validation is a way you can extract the values existing in a cell. Let's create a column called scene data. Open your data menu, select data validation. Let's specify which column you will want to add a data validation, so that the only options we see are either yes or no. So over here in criteria, select list of items and type in yes, no, hit save. Now we have this drop down in your cells with two possible values, yes and no. You can clear data validation in a specific cell or ranges in your sheets where it doesn't make sense to have a data validation. For example, we don't want to have a data validation on your header. Right click the cell and open data validation. Here you will see an option to remove. One of important things about Google Sheets is how easy we can perform basic calculation using functions and formulas. A formula combines one or more spreadsheet functions to obtain a specific result. We can check the quick sum feature because I don't even have to enter a formula. Alright, so let's highlight some data on our sheet to analyze. And we are going to pick the budget column, open the quick sum window, check out some different sum options here. Sheets is going to guess the formula that you are most interested in. If you click on the drop down, it will expand and give more aggregate state. For example, we can see the sum, average, minimum, maximum, how many unique budget cells there are in this column. Alright, so now we are going to start with some simple formulas using functions like sum, average and count. The sum function returns the sum of a series of numbers and or cells. We are going to sum up the box office revenue columns of all the movies. To do that, let's type equal sum, open parenthesis. Now select all the data in this column and close parenthesis. Hit enter and here you go, you can see all the sum up. The count function is to return number of numeric values in a data set. The average functions, let's say we want to know the average budget spent for all of these movies. So type average, open parenthesis. Now select all the data in this column, close your parenthesis. Go ahead and hit enter and here you go, we can see all the average for this data we can get here. To get a count, type count and select the data range you want to count. The function counts all numeric values in a data including duplicates. We can use the min and max functions in sheets to observe our data range here. You will enter equal min, open parenthesis, enter the budget column and close parenthesis, and for max enter equal max, open parenthesis, budget column, close parenthesis. Go ahead and change this cells format into currency. Go to format and select the number and select currency. As expected, min returns the minimum value and a numeric data. Let's look at count again in relation to COUNTA, COUNTUNIque and COUNTIF functions. The main difference between count and COUNTA is count gathers the number of numeric values and COUNTA gathers the number of values. We can also count A if we want to know how many total movie data entries we have in the sheet. Instead of picking a numeric value column, we can pick the movie titles column this time. So enter equal count A and movie title column. If we have duplicated values in our spreadsheet, they would still count using the COUNTA formula. To make sure we are only counting unique values in our dataset, we would use the COUNTUNIque formula. COUNTUNIque counts the number of unique values in a list of specified values and ranges. Let's check it out. So enter the formula COUNTUNIque and our data range. In this case, enter column. There we go. We will use the COUNTIF function to quickly count how many items in a range meet a given criterion. So in our genre section here, I can use COUNTIF to pull out how many movie genres there are. Let's create a new column to start our analysis. There we go. Let's enter COUNTIF formula and we need to point towards all the genres. So select the genre columns. After the cell range, we have to add which cell value is comparing the data to. You can see here. Now let's use the fill down features to apply the same formula to all genres. Sheets will pull out the unique count of each genre. If you want to use the SUMIF functions in Google Sheets, you need to define which range we want to sum and criteria and or criterion. The range in the formula is defined as a cell range where you want to sum values in Google Sheets. The criteria range is the range which we want to filter for certain values, and the criterion is the value which we want to take out from the criteria range. So this process is the same for AVERAGEIF. Instead of summing up every entry of action, let's put them all together, find an average for them. Let's create a new column and enter equal AVERAGEIF. Enter the column, select the genre, then enter the budget column. Go ahead and format the cell into currency. Go to format number and select currency. If we are going to lock in the genre values, we also want to add a dollar sign in front of this cell. Here we go, and now if drag the formula out to the right and we enter that cell, we see that same general data range. The if function is invaluable. If you have large dataset, it helps you create a rule that calls out relevant data based on your parameters. For example, if I want to create a new column that highlights Hollywood blockbuster, I can create a new rule that pulls out films that grossed more than 50 million. Let's say we want to create a new category called blockbuster in this column. So what is our rule? Let's say if the film's revenue is greater than $50 million, then it is a blockbuster, and we will display the value yes. If it is not, the cell value will be no. Okay, that's nice. We already put the formula, and now double click on the bottom of the cell here. Then you go. Alright, now let's learn how to use the AND or NOT functions to create a logical argument. If you want to create more than one condition, you can go beyond the if then function. The AND function ties together multiple rules. In addition to blockbuster, we want to find out how many action blockbuster there are. So we need to enter our if and function. We want to call out the blockbuster column and the example genre action. If the values are true, this new data column will tell us which of the movies are both blockbuster and of the action genre. Likewise, for the OR and NOT function also we can practice. Functions like date, year, month, hour, minute, all these functions allow you to break out certain component of your data. Quick example, let's bring our release date column here in an empty sheet. Here we can see value composed of year, month and day. We are going to use the year function to isolate just the years, and we will use the month functions for the isolate just the month. Why this is helpful? Because instead of going in and changing the data manually, we can break out a specific data component. Let's use the paste special feature. You can use paste special to decide which formatting gets copied when copying cells. Paste special work within your spreadsheet and different sheet. You can access all of the different types of paste special available in edit paste. See how we can use. To paste values only, we can choose to paste format only. We can paste all except borders. We can paste formula only, data validation, conditional formatting, and so on. Well, that's all for today for Google Sheets formula and functions and data analysis. If you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and put comments. Don't forget to click bell button for my updated videos.